Do you ever want to know why everybody in Atlanta is always late?
You can hear me up there okay, right? Alright, let's start with a kick. Just a touch. The guitar. The other guitar. Center vocal.
Heard what you said now, merry-go-round. Come again, these echoes go. I want you again, to touch you again. I want you again, but it's ain't now and then. It's not enough for you to keep me alive. If you're ready to complete, you see me say
For the last many years, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to do weddings, and officiating weddings is, although fun, quite interesting. I get to meet a ton of interesting people and hear these people's stories, hear how they met, and a couple of them have been kind of strange, but for the most part, a true joy. If I could officiate weddings every day, I totally would. So I'm on my way right now to officiate a wedding. It's going to be in someone's kitchen, and we're just gonna hang out, and I'm gonna do my thing and sign their papers. It's gonna be a pretty easy wedding, but it should be fun. One thing that I still have not figured out is the balance between the studio with Nathan, with the band, and it's been an interesting journey over the last few years. Now, the studio is 3.5 years old. We started in November of 2013, and we started with the idea in mind. I wanted to bring lessons and record in kind of an unconventional way and be able to bring music to the community in a way that they hadn't seen before. It's been awesome, and it's doing well, and it's been a really cool journey over the last 3.5 years. Over these last few years, though, it has been proven to be difficult to figure out how to balance it all. And I've been seeing it kind of in particular this week. Now, when people start businesses, they usually start for a few different reasons. One, it may be because they don't like working for anybody else, that they want to be their own boss and do their own thing. For others, it's because they want to make their own schedule or go on vacation whenever they want. And then for others, it's because of the impact that they think their idea would have or whatever it is. But one thing I think people forget is how hard it is and how much time is needed to start a business. Now, when I started, I got some really good advice early on. You think about your normal 40-hour work week. You're getting paid from another company to work 40 hours. Now, that's your needed time. Already a company that has been established, though. That's a company that's already running and moving, and they still need your 40 hours. When you're starting a business, your company isn't yet running, or it's not yet successful. So therefore, when you start your company, you're going to be needing to do your 40-hour work week and then another 40 hours on top of that in order to get to where you need to be and build. Elon Musk from Tesla and SpaceX, and he invented or created rather PayPal. He always talks about the 120-hour work week, and the craziness of that is just making sure that your mind is always in the business. The more that you invest in your company, then the more successful it will be at a quicker rate. And now that we're 3.5 years in, we are running and successful and doing very well, still needed here and working an incredible amount. Here's the interesting part for this week then. We also treat the band like a starting business. So when we go on tour or are recording or investing money into what we do, we treat it the same way. So that 80-hour work week needs to pertain to the band as well. And now I'm caught in this catch-22. One, it is invest a lot of time into the band so that that can move forward, or invest more time into the studio so that can continue to move forward. And that's where the balancing act starts to get a little bit more tricky with things like this week. We have a series of shows coming up in Colorado and California that Revel in Romance is playing. It's going to be an awesome trip. I ran into a little bit of a predicament early on in our scheduling because we had to get a certain number of shows by a certain date so that I could know where to put my students and make up those lessons, have everything, make sense for long travels. Last night at band practice, we did our band meeting, we packed the van, and they actually left early this morning, and I'm sitting here waiting for another student because I have to continue to work. So I have filled my schedule for today and tomorrow, and then I fly out Saturday, meet them in Colorado, and then I'll travel with them to California, we'll play those shows, and then I fly back from LA back to Atlanta to continue to work while they start driving back. I found that balancing all of these things are very difficult. One thing that I think is super important in every area of that is the communication that happens between everyone that's involved. Between Nathan and his mom, between the band, between the folks at the studio, so that everybody knows what's going on and what's needed from every single person. Found that this balancing act is one of the most challenging things that I've been faced with starting a business. But at the end of the day, it still is crazy cool. But this is going to be, I think, the first time that I'm away from Nathan for this long, entire week, and will not see Nathan once. And that, to me, is kind of weird.
I'm so longer the I'm so longer the
Hey Nathan, who's coming tomorrow? Yeah, are you excited? How excited are you? What are you gonna eat? You ready for it? Good. More. You can take a nap? No nap? Then why do you have your binky in your mouth?